good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. Do let me know in the live chat where you are tuning in from. I'm about to share with you the scores as they stand on the stream. We've had Kovacevic holding, by the way, to begin the match against Novak Djokovic. Muchová, by the way, is up a break already on Ružić. So that is some breaking news. It's probably the only breaking news I have for you so far. Pegula is serving first and has held. De Minaur has served first and held as well. So that is bringing you up to date with all things tennis. I will, as I say, share the scores with you on the screen. And yeah, let me know, where in the world are you? Maybe you're in California, maybe you're in the UK, maybe you're like me and you're in Germany. Perhaps it's very late at night and you're somewhere in Asia. Perhaps you're in India or elsewhere. And it is love 15 here on the Djokovic serve in a pretty sparse stadium. Double fault there from Djokovic, love 30. Remember, Novak's performances in Indian Wells in recent years have left a lot to be desired by his exceptionally high standards elsewhere on the tour. We have got a doubles match taking place as well right now with Johnson and Zielinski up against Erler and Vavasori. 15-30. Muchová, of course, a warm favourite in her match. The winner of Muchová and Ružić, by the way, will play the winner of Sakkari and Swiatek later on. Interesting rally here at 15-30, and it's actually Kovacevic who breaks down on the forehand, so it's 30 all. Do get voting in our poll, by the way, as to who you think is going to win this particular encounter. Whether you're watching Djokovic, Kovacevic, you can vote in our poll there. Or whether you think, if you're watching maybe Ružić, Muchová, you can also vote in our poll on that one. Pegula and Ostapenko, you can vote there too. And we're going to have a break point here for Kovacevic. So let's see how this one goes. 30-40 here on the Djokovic serve. Where are you going with this serve? You're going down the tee. It's a really good serve, unreturned. Djokovic, let me know in the live chat. Is he the most clutch player in tennis history? I think there's a case. A pretty strong one as well, bearing in mind the number of major titles he's won. Deuce. An ace there from Novak. De Minaur and Norrie one game all, by the way. Muchová has consolidated her break. And Pegula is threatening the Ostapenko serve. I will keep you up to date if something major happens in that encounter. Djokovic has held for 1-all, saved a break point en route. I see a lot of people voting for Pegula. 67% have gone for Pegula in that encounter. We do have a game point for Yelena Ostapenko, by the way. That is on court number 3, I think. No, court number 2, sorry, stadium 2. Second serve here for Kovacevic. Backhand return from Djokovic. And the shot from Kovacevic goes long. So love 15 already to begin this service game. de Minaur and Norrie on serve. de Minaur serving, 30 love. Do hit that like button, by the way. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Oh, a miss hit there from Kovacevic. And we have got love 30 now on the Novak serve. Plenty of people watching the Pegula Ostapenko stream. Do let me know in the live chat where you are tuning in from. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Second serve again for Djokovic to look at. Forehand to forehand rally right now. Kovacevic not taking any chances here, playing with plenty of margin. It's a good forehand winner from him off a short ball from Novak. So 15-30 it is. Do give us a follow on Instagram, by the way, at Talking Tennis TT, where we have extra videos. Djokovic on the defense. A tricky smash here for Kovacevic. And now they're back to neutral because Djokovic has read it, which must be pretty dispiriting for the American. Ooh. And it's a slice from Kovacevic into the net. He can't believe it. In the end, that was a tricky smash, and he dealt with it pretty well, but Djokovic just read it like a book. So break points here for Djokovic, but he shouldn't win this point, but he might do because he has done incredibly so far down in that rally once again, and yet somehow he pulls a rabbit out of a hat, breaks serve. So the breaking news is we have breaks of serve in the Djokovic and Muchová matches. That is where the headlines are right now. Djokovic leads Kovacevic by an early break, and Muchová is now up a double break on Ružić. de Minaur has a game point for 2-1. So that is where we're at. And Ostapenko, by the way, has broken the serve of Jessica Pegula. So 3 of the 4 matches, we've already got an advance, if you like, on enemy territory with Ostapenko breaking, Djokovic breaking, and Muchová up a double break. Cam Norrie against Alex de Minaur is the only first set that is on serve. Let's have a look at this Ostapenko-Pegula match because I think it's quite an intriguing beginning to the match. Obviously, Pegula being the slight to warm favourite, I would suggest. Djokovic serving here, love 15. Remember, he did have a break point to fend off in his previous service game, but another excellent serve from Djokovic, which has been a trait of his, I mean, throughout his career, but it's got progressively better, I would suggest, and is now a definite strength. 15 all. Ostapenko serving at 2-1, so she's up an early break. Norrie and de Minaur, the only match at the moment underway that is on serve. Advantages for Djokovic, Ostapenko, and Muchová in the other three. It's a good forehand winner there from Kovacevic to apply a little bit more pressure to the Djokovic serve. Switching back to Pegula and Ostapenko. Pegula here, obviously, 2-1 down, and Ostapenko trying to consolidate that break, but she's just put a forehand into the net to begin this service game, so love 15. Good to see Matthew here. It's been a little while. I'd still say it's been more up than down, Matthew. 30 all. Unreturned serve there. And good evening to you. By the way, you must be feeling a little bit better as an Arsenal fan, Matthew, bearing in mind the 2 points gained, if you like, last week, or increased in the margin of the top of the table. I think it could well be significant. Okay, backhand to backhand. Djokovic, so changing direction to the forehand of Kovacevic. Djokovic on the attack. Kovacevic struggling here. And it's going to go long. 40-30. So, Ostapenko here, 2-1, 15 all. For those of you just tuning in and wondering, what is the current state of play? Well, Djokovic has now consolidated that break. So he leads 3-1 over Kovacevic. Ostapenko is 2-1, 30-15 on Jessica Pegula. And Cam Norrie is seeking parity in his match with Alex de Minaur. In fact, he's just gained it 2 games all, so they're on serve. And Muchová is up a double break and threatening a bagel on Ružić, because it's 4 love to Muchová and love 30 now on the Ružić serve. Ostapenko has 2 game points now at 40-15. Ostapenko in Indian Wells, I don't think she's really had a great run in the desert from memory. Certainly never been in a final. I'm pretty sure she's never made the semis either, as we get an aerial view of Stadium 1. Kovacevic beginning his service game with an ace out wide. Ostapenko has consolidated to lead 3-1 on Jessica Pegula. Some people's tip to win the title is down in this first set of break. And Muchová, by the way, has 3... No, she's got 2 now break points. The first has been saved by Ružić. But Muchová in charge of that match. And I think the winner of Muchová-Ružić plays the winner of Maria Sakkari and Iga Swiatek. That is coming up later on today. I hope to bring you a watch along for that match too. Kovacevic has held, by the way. So it is just a 1-game margin, albeit with a break that Djokovic has, 3-2. Good serving and a comfortable hold for Kovacevic in the end. Less than a minute for this game so far. And I wonder if he broke the minute. I don't think he did. I bet it was about a minute and 2 or 3 seconds, that hold for Kovacevic. Talking of holds, de Minaur and Norrie are on serve at 2 all. Ružić has saved another break point, by the way, on Muchová. So that's 30-40 now. De Minaur has 2 game points for 3-2. By the way, if you're wondering what my tips were for today, I've gone for Djokovic, Pegula, de Minaur, and Muchová to win their respective matches. Not exactly going out on a limb there by picking the 4 favourites to win their 4 matches. Ostapenko here, threatening the Pegula serve. 15-30. That forehand. It's missed there, I think, though. Has she missed that? Or she hit that and pulled out a winner somehow? Let me just have a quick look. Sorry. I've got this match on the phone. It's a great return from Pegula, from Ostapenko. Oh, that has landed in that drop shot. Wow, just clipping the line. Bringing up a smile to the Ostapenko face. That is unusual. A rarity. Ružić has a game point. So from love 40 down, she has a game point on Muchová. As our subscriber count begins to creep up, do hit that like button. And of course, if you are new to the channel, do hit subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to the 30,000 mark, having recently hit 26,000. So if you are watching and you haven't hit subscribe, please do so and then watch this number just below my head. You'll see that tick over. Oh, okay. I didn't know that that Man City and Arsenal have been drawn in the cup. Of course, you're going to have to play each other this Sunday, maybe in the Carling Cup final, is it? Pegula and Ostapenko deuce. Okay. Well done for hitting subscribe. Oh, 22nd is the final, is it, Matthew? Okay, my bad. So it's a week on Sunday rather than this coming Sunday, so 13 days from now. Anyway, that is football or soccer chat, depending on how you term it. Okay, Kovacevic here serving at 2-4, 15 love. Ostapenko, by the way, didn't manage to get that double break, so it's 3-2. She does lead by the singular break. And Muchová does get the break on Ružić and is serving for the bagel. Norrie under a bit of pressure on his serve, by the way, 15-30. Kovacevic here serving at 2-4 with an ace out wide to get to 40 love. So is this going to be back-to-back games to love for the American? Quite possibly. Ostapenko and Pegula on a sit-down. Ostapenko had a look at the Pegula serve there. She had 15-30 and also got to deuce before Pegula did manage to eventually hold. An ace from Kovacevic, so his serve is firing now, albeit maybe just a little bit too late in terms of saving this set. We'll see how it pans out. Change of ends there on court number 1. Djokovic leads 4-3 with a break. Change of ends between Pegula and Ostapenko. Ostapenko leads 3-2 with a break. And Muchová is serving for a bagel on Ružić. For those of you just tuning in, do hit that like button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Okay, so Ostapenko and Pegula are back on court. Muchová, by the way, 5-love, 30-15. So she's 2 points away from the bagel. She was the favorite against Ružić. By the way, did Ružić beat Qinwen Zheng in the previous round? Let me just get that up. Yes, she did in straight sets. And then she beat Jennifer Brady in the first round. 2 former Australian Open finalists Ružić has beaten en route to the round of 32, where she's obviously playing, as I say, Karolína Muchová. Smash here for Ostapenko. Brings up 15 all. Djokovic serving at 4-3. I actually think Djokovic has served pretty well today. Yes, okay, there's been a couple of double faults in there, but I think largely he's served very well. He did have to save a break point in, I think, his second service game. Just one, though. And he was pretty clutch from that moment onwards. And both have been pretty comfortable on serve, with the exception of that one break that we got. Djokovic there with a miss hit, but it does land in. And Kovacevic goes big on the backhand, but misses long. 2 set points for Karolína Muchová to get the bagel, and she takes it. 6 games to love in 26 minutes over on Stadium 4. Let's have a quick look at the Indian Wells schedule, the order of play for today, because that match between Muchová and Ružić could be over pretty quickly. And therefore, could be significant because the next players will have to be warming up pretty soon. Oh, it's going to be a doubles match that follows that one. Mertens and Bencic will be on later. But it's a doubles match that follows Muchová and Ružić. In fact, it's an interesting one because it does see Riley Opelka and Yannick Sinner pair up against Granollers and Zeballos. Ostapenko holds for 4-2. De Minaur Norrie still on serve at 3-all. Norrie, of course, a former Indian Wells champion, one of 2 in action on the men's side right now, because Djokovic, of course, has also won the title in the past. Coming up on the Djokovic-Kovacevic court, which is court number 1, afterwards will be Mira Andreeva against Siniakova. Following Pegula and Ostapenko will be Fran Cerundolo up against Jack Draper. And the match to follow Norrie and De Minaur will be Bublik and Hijikata. Do you play any DraftKings for tennis? I don't know what DraftKings is. I'm very sorry. Let me know what DraftKings is, and I may be able to respond. Yeah, I mean, cruising, Ghosty, is a masterpiece of understatement, as the late, great Murray Walker used to say. Okay. So I guess in response to the question, do I play it? No, I don't. Matthew here saying he's intrigued how Djokovic does this week. He's struggled in the tournament the last few years, always feels vulnerable early on. However, if it comes through today, then he might be dangerous. It's not a bad draw for Novak. In particular, obviously, Hurkacz going out at the first hurdle. But after today, I think the next round will be tricky because it'll either be Fran Cerundolo, who I think enjoys the slowish conditions in the desert. Mind you, he does well in Miami as well. So I think he probably just likes these 2 tournaments either way. Or previous champion Jack Draper. And I think depending on the nature of the results, as in like if Djokovic struggles again but comes through against Kovacevic, like he did against Maishak in the previous round, then I think you would probably make Draper or Cerundolo the favourite. If Djokovic, though, comes through comfortably, then I guess you would back the Serbian number 3 seed. But it's an intriguing clash, and that's probably when the tournament starts for him. Although I get you, he is vulnerable early on because he hasn't done well in the desert since winning the title in What was the last time he won it? 2016, maybe? 2015? 2016 he won it, I think. And he's a 5-time champion overall. So it's kind of funny. We're saying, yeah, he's not done well in the desert. He's only won it 5 times. But it's just the last decade, isn't it, that has been a struggle for him. Okay, let's keep you up to date with all things tennis. Ostapenko still leads by a break, but it is a fine margin. Cam Norrie has broken the de Minaur serve. So the 2021 Cam Norrie champion, I don't know if he's a Cam Norrie champion. He's an Indian Wells champion, but you follow me. He leads 4-3 with a break on de Minaur, so he extracts first blood in that tussle over on court number 3. Ostapenko leads by a break on Pegula. Djokovic leads by a break on Kovacevic in the Battle of the Itches on Stadium 1. And over in Stadium 4, Muchová has 2 break points to lead by a set and a break. And in fact, that would be 7 games in a row for the Czech. And it would feel like a long way back for Ružić. Kovacevic holds comfortably again. He's looked very good on serve, with the exception of that one game when he got broken. Sabalenka, Ghosty. Sorry to be boring in terms of who I think will win that one. Hijikata, by the way. Yeah, going to be playing Alexander Bublik. Against, Rinky Hijikata. Hijikata beating Darderi in the last round. There was a very funny point on match point when Darderi obviously called the point to stop, but he wanted to stop it because he was well down in it. Then he said he didn't call to stop it, but he did. So Djokovic is now going to be serving for the first set. Ostapenko here, 4-3, 15 love. I agree. He's been unplayable on serve. But the problem is he's already down a break. And Djokovic has also looked pretty good, I think, on serve, with the exception of when he had to fend off that break point. But yeah, you're right. But it's once you've got that deficit, is it how many games in a row? Maybe 3 games in a row without losing a point on his serve? And one service game was done in a minute. That's a good return there from Kovacevic. That's what he's got to do. He's up in this point. He gets to love 15. Ostapenko here, 30-15 on her serve. What do we think of Alex Ayala against Linda Noskova? Ayala will be pretty fresh. I think Noskova too, but sometimes I do think that can be an issue for Ayala when she comes through epic match. I think it's a battle of the returns of the second serve. So if Noskova can get her first serve percentage up to over 70%, I think she'll have a great chance of winning. But can she? That is the big question. Djokovic here, 30-15 on his serve. And Ostapenko, by the way, comfortably holds. So 5-3. She's a game away. Djokovic on the defense here, and Kovacevic. Has he missed that forehand? Dearie me, you've got to be taking advantage of that. It was actually quite similar to the point he won at the beginning of this service game. So 2 set points now for Novak Djokovic. We will have a watch along, by the way, for Bublik against Hijikata as well. So please do join us for that one. Second serve here for Kovacevic to look at. Djokovic had to fend off 1 break point in this set, but that's it so far. Second serve, run around forehand for Kovacevic. Forehand from Djokovic, playing with plenty of margin here. And that backhand's going to go long, and Djokovic is going to win the first set by 6 games to 4. Pegula looking comfortable on her serve here at 3-5. She's up 30 love. Muchová in control of her match. By the way, I'm going to be boring today. But you can call me Boring John because I'm also going to go for Bublik to win against Hijikata. Just having a look at some of these stats. Djokovic's serve quality 8, Kovacevic 9.3. But overall, Djokovic has the edge on the performance rating. Djokovic getting 64% of his first serves in and winning 83% of those. Net play 1 from 2, both of them. Fine margins in that set. Kovacevic, with the exception of when he was broken, looked very comfortable on serve, but having had that deficit, was never able to really eat into the Djokovic serve after having that early break point. Do let me know in the live chat where are you tuning in from, but also get voting in our polls. Who do you think will win, Djokovic or Kovacevic? Well, it's Djokovic who's certainly got the upper hand right now. Who do you think is going to win between Pegula and Ostapenko? It is advantage Ostapenko in the first set. They're on the change of ends right now, but when Ostapenko and Pegula return to the court, it will be Ostapenko serving for the first set. Kovacevic starting the second set as he ended the first in terms of being very comfortable on serve. Forehand there from Kovacevic goes into the net. So it is 15 all. Meanwhile, Cam Norrie looking to hold on to the break of serve advantage he has. Ružić, by the way, has got on the board at last. She has won a game of tennis against Muchová. It's 1 game all at the beginning of that second set. It was looking pretty perilous for Ružić at one point. But anyway, 1 game all at the beginning of the second set there. And Ostapenko wins the first point on serve as she serves for the first set. By the way, de Minaur has a break point on Cam Norrie over on court number 3. And Kovacevic, for the first time in a little while, seems to have a bit of pressure being applied to his serve. He's 30 all. It is the backhand of Kovacevic that seems to be breaking down a little bit at the moment. Ostapenko 2 points away from winning the first set. Can de Minaur get back on serve against the 21 Indian Wells champ, Cam Norrie? Ružić has held for 2-1. So she's finally found her feet against Muchová. Kovacevic wins that point. That was a big point to win. Drawing Djokovic into the net with the drop shot and then ultimately putting the simple volley away for 40-30. Cam Norrie has saved the break point against de Minaur, by the way. No, I guess it's not a surprise to get lung-busting rallies between those two. I mean, Norrie is so fit. I mean, they don't call him the lungs for nothing. And then you throw in de Minaur's speed, and it has, some spectacular results, no doubt. Norrie, though, holds. Big hold for him, having to fend off a break point there as well. 2 set points here for Yelena Ostapenko. So Norrie is a game away, and Ostapenko is a point away from winning the first set after getting an ace there. And she does indeed win the first set over Jessica Pegula. So the American, if she is going to progress in this tournament, is going to have to do it the hard way, coming from a set down. Kovacevic has a game point on Djokovic, and de Minaur is serving to stay in the first set against Cam Norrie. I would call Cam Norrie and Ostapenko wins slight upsets, should they manifest themselves. Still some work, of course, for their opponents to do. Norrie's not even won the first set yet, but Norrie and Ostapenko are in charge of their matches. Djokovic is in charge of his match, having won the first set, and Muchová is certainly in charge of her match against Ružić. I say certainly. The second set was looking very good for Karolína as well, but actually now at 1-2, not so good. But of course, she did win the first set by 6 games to love. But being bageled and going on to win the match does seem to be a bit of a theme in 2026. Regarding the Pegula-Ostapenko match, I'm going to bring up some stats for you. Ostapenko looking very good on her first serve, winning 74% of those points. Also, her winners to unforced errors ratio, which I think is always key for an Ostapenko match, is looking favorable. 16 winners and 11 unforced errors. But probably the most important thing is the ruthlessness. Pegula has yet to garner a break point on the Ostapenko serve. Ostapenko just got 1 break point on the Pegula serve, but took it. Talking of break points, we are going to have a break point here for Novak Djokovic to begin this second set on Kovacevic. Wonderful to have so many of you tuning in. Ghosty here giving me some medical advice. I have absolutely no idea about that, so I can't elaborate. Although it could be just a little excuse to go for that joke that I see at the end, Ghosty. I imagine you're pleased with Ostapenko winning that first set over Jessica Pegula because you've got a player that you like against a player that you're not so keen on. People in the live chat asking me for gambling advice. I just can't give it to you. I can tell you who I think pre-match. I can tell you who I thought that Pegula would win, and I thought de Minaur would win. I still would just about back those two players, but they're going to have to make a move pretty soon. De Minaur serving to stay in the first set, for example, is 3-5 and deuce. So maybe I'm just going to switch over to that one. Kovacevic has a game point. He has saved a break point in this service game. Can Kovacevic finally get over the line and hold serve here? To forehand into the net from him. So no is the answer. Back to deuce. I'm going to get de Minaur up on my screen if I possibly can. Well, I can, that's for sure. There we go. Norrie versus de Minaur. Norrie didn't break, by the way. So de Minaur's held, change of ends there. But Norrie, when they return to the court, will be serving for the set. We're going to have another game point here for Kovacevic in what's turning into an epic service game for him. And Ostapenko has a break point on Pegula to begin the second set. Only the second break point of the match. And the previous one, Ostapenko took. So can she make it 2 from 2 in terms of break points on the Pegula serve? Pegula's yet to get a break point on the Ostapenko serve. This epic game between Kovacevic and Djokovic just going on and on and on. Muchová, by the way, and Ružić are 2 games all, so they are on serve there. Ružić serving at 2-all, by the way, and she is up 30-love, seeking a 3-2 advantage. But the big question is, Ostapenko has broken Pegula to begin the second set. 6-4, 1-love. The Latvian leads. So she is up a set and a break thanks to some ruthless tennis. 2 break points she's had on the Pegula serve and 2 breaks of serve she's dished up. So at the moment, Pegula's being Ostapenko'd. Penko looking good, says No Handle AT. No Handle AT, by the way, if you haven't already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. And we're back to deuce in Djokovic-Kovacevic, by the way. Cam Norrie and de Minaur return to the court. Norrie serving for the first set. We will have watch-alongs, by the way, for more matches coming up later on today. Bublik and Hijikata being among them. Do let me know in the live chat, where are you tuning in from to watch this match? At long last, Kovacevic holds. That game felt like it was a good 10 minutes. Djokovic is upset with something or someone. He's pointing and remonstrating with somebody, I think, among his team. We'll try and bring you a lot more watch-alongs today. I think it is someone in his team that he was remonstrating with. I don't know what upset him, but Djokovic is a bit of a maverick in that respect. Draper, last year's champion, still in the tournament, and will be playing Fran Cerundolo later on today. The winner of Cerundolo-Draper, by the way, will be playing the winner of Djokovic-Kovacevic. Actually, who is higher ranked right now? Draper or Cerundolo? Draper's 14. Cerundolo's got to be pretty close to that. 20, okay. Yeah, indeed. Because although Kovacevic is, of course, representing the US, he has Balkan background. The 27-year-old has yet to breach the top 50 in terms of his ranking. His highest came quite recently, 54 in the world. He reached that peak just before the Aussie Open. He's currently now, though, late 70s. But I think he probably will break the top 50 this year, but he'll need to get some better runs at slams. Never been past the second round at a slam yet, Kovacevic. So he was born in New York, was Kovacevic, but his parents, one is from Bosnia and the other one from Serbia, yeah. Yeah, that was a big, important hole to serve, Matthew. I agree. Penko is dominating indeed. I'm just focusing on Norrie de Minaur for a moment, but I will get back to Penko against Pegula in a moment because at the moment, basically, Penko has just been ruthless. She's been very comfortable on serve, not had to face a break point as yet, and she's had 2 break points on the Pegula serve and basically dominated. And she's not hitting as many unforced errors. Oh, yeah, so she had 2 break points and she's broken twice. So ruthless from Ostapenko. Let me just hone in on Norrie de Minaur for a moment because it is deuce in their match. Norrie here should put this forehand away, but de Minaur's defense is pretty good, but he can't deal with it, I don't think. So Norrie's going to have a set point. Advantage Cam Norrie. I will let you know exactly what happens in this point as and when. Double fault there, Djokovic, is it? Yeah, break point for Kovacevic to begin this set. Meanwhile, has de Minaur missed? No, he's made that backhand cross court. That was huge on set point. So deuce. 5.5 minutes this game so far. Who do we think will win between Draper and Cerundolo? Norrie going to have another set point here. Kovacevic can't take that break point opportunity. Djokovic saves it. Deuce. Look at Djokovic with the ball, kids. It's not a good look. Oh, and a smash there from Norrie, and he wins the first set by 6-4. So, Cam Norrie draws first blood, wins the first set over Alex de Minaur. Cam Norrie, of course, the 2021 champion. 52 minutes, he got the job done there. Change of shirt for Cam Norrie. And I think he's going to go off court, I think. But it is de Minaur that needs a change of fortune in that set. Or in this match, sorry. I think it's a mishit forehand there from Novak. And we are going to have another break point for Kovacevic as we get towards 6 minutes for this service game. It's been a pretty lengthy set so far because we've had 2 tough holds, potentially, if Djokovic does get over the line and hold. It's a good backhand return, though, from Kovacevic. Forehand cross-court into the forehand of Novak. Now it's a forehand that Kovacevic should put away, and he does. Kovacevic breaks 2-love. Regarding the Norrie de Minaur stats, by the way, First serve's in, pretty even. Second serve's in, pretty even for de Minaur and Norrie. Both players looking pretty good at the net as well, winning around about 80% of those points. It's the shorter rallies, though, that Norrie is winning. He's winning about 70% of the shorter rallies, the under 9-point rallies. In fact, 80% of the over 9-point rallies are going the way of de Minaur. And overall, we've got an overall performance rating from Cam Norrie of 8.1 compared to 7.6 from Alex de Minaur. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat, by the way. Okay, so Kovacevic trying to consolidate, but it is 15 all on his serve. Had an epic service hold in his previous game, but he did eventually hold. And as Matthew suggested, it was a big hold for the American, the New York-born Kovacevic. Okay, so bringing you up to where we are at in the state of play. Cam Norrie leads Alex de Minaur by a set. Ostapenko leads Jessica Pegula by a set and a break. Muchová leads by 1-0 over Ružić, but they are on serve in the second set. Meanwhile, Djokovic leads by a set to love over Kovacevic, but is down a break in the second set. I'm going to switch over one of my screens now to Jessica Pegula and Ostapenko. So far, Yelena has just been ruthless in terms of the breakpoint opportunities she had. And is not hitting as many unforced errors. She's finding her spots. Kovacevic here, by the way, 2-love, 30 all. Pegula here at 30 love, but she does, of course, have a break deficit at 1-3. 54 minutes on the clock for this encounter. de Minaur serving first in this second set, but is down love 30 on his serve. Pegula has 3 game points to at least get it to 3-2, but it would still be a break deficit. And Djokovic, by the way, has a break back point. 30-40 now on the Kovacevic serve. Let's talk you through this break point for Djokovic. Oh, Kovacevic was so unsure there, thought about coming into the net, and is now retreat to the baseline. Now it's a backhand cross-court. Smash for Kovacevic. He makes it. Deuce. Pegula's held, by the way. So just the one break advantage for Yelena at the moment, but she is 3 games away from what will be a very impressive win for the Latvian. Djokovic with a decent return off a second serve here at deuce. But he's going to go long there, so it's a game point for Kovacevic. Do let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Okay, Kovacevic here with a game point. Makes that forehand. Just 3-love, he leads. Ostapenko Pegula, change of ends. In a moment, I'm going to dive into de Minaur against Cam Noi, because de Minaur in a spot of bother there. Interesting attire there from that fan of the Kovacevic Djokovic match. Cam Noi up a break in the second set on Alex de Minaur. We've not even hit the hour mark, and we have Cam Noi up a set and a break on Alex de Minaur, and we have Yelena Ostapenko up a set and a break on Jessica Pegula. Yeah, it does. Where were those two matches, Matthew? The ones that Cerundolo won, where were they? Day Life here, desperate for a Pegula win. If you're just tuning in, do hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe and watch this number just below my head tick over, and you can do a little dance knowing that you've made a difference. So 3-love Kovacevic in the second set. Just watching Ostapenko serving here. She's 30 all. Is she going to have to fend off her first break of the match? Yes, she is. She puts a forehand into the net. So Jessica Pegula, first break point of the match to get this second set back on serve. How's this break point going to pan out? It's going to be a forehand. Oh, it's going to go out from Pegula. Deuce. Ostapenko was in all sorts of trouble there, but she just hit it out. So Ostapenko does save the break point, and we are at deuce. Good forehand winner there for Djokovic to get to 40-love. But it is going to be a second serve for Kovacevic. We're going to have another break point here for... Oh, and she's got the break, has she, Pegula? Yes, she has. That back on serve, backhand error into the net there from Ostapenko. So it's 3-all. For the first time in the match, she applied some pressure to the Ostapenko serve. And she got the break. Just over an hour on the clock. Okay. Pegula gets an ace to begin this service game. She is down a set, and it is just 3-all in the second set. So it's a long way from being game on exactly. But if she can hold serve her here, and she's got an unreturned serve there as well to get to 30 love. So things looking much better for the American right now. Mira Andreeva against Katarina Siniakova coming up later on. That'll be coming up, I think, after the Djokovic-Kovacevic match on Stadium 1. Kovacevic here, by the way, 40 love with an ace. He has, for 85% of the time, served very, very well today. Djokovic not making much of an impression on a lot of the service games of Kovacevic. And here we go. We've got another game that's going to be just a fraction over a minute if he gets this point over the line as well. And he does. Djokovic on return serve puts that forehand return into the net. Meanwhile, Pegula's raced into a 40-love lead as she tries to get to 4-3. Remember, she was down 3-2 with a break, but a break of serve, and it looks like a hold for Jessica. Indeed, it is a hold with an unreturned serve, so she now leads 4-3. I'm sure the Pegula fans out there will be much happier. Meanwhile, Muchová has got a break on Ružić. So she is 2 games away now from sealing a spot in the round of 16, where she will play either Maria Sakkari or Iga Swiatek. It's a tough run now for Swiatek from here on in, because today's clash against Sakkari is someone that she has lost to recently. And Muchová, of course, is a WTA 1000 winner and also a Grand Slam finalist. So that would be an epic clash as well for Iga if she was to progress against Maria. Ružić, by the way, serving to stay in the match at 3-5. Norrie consolidated his break, so he leads by a set and a break on de Minaur in what would be a surprise. I'm going to switch over to Muchová and Ružić because that match could be coming to an end any moment. It is the one really where we have, I think, some clarity in terms of who's likely to win the match. I would probably put Muchová at about 90% right now. Some people might even say that's being generous to Ružić. So she's serving here at 3-5, Ružić, and she hits her first serve into the net. Into the rally here, Ružić and Muchová. And it's a rally that's going to go the way of Muchová with an unforced error off the racket of Ružić. Oh dear, Djokovic 15-30 on his serve. And he is down a break. Meanwhile, Ružić, love 30. Ružić with a forehand is going to go in behind Muchová. Ružić was off balance there, so she did really well to win that point. Meanwhile, 3 break points for Jessica Pegula on the Ostapenko serve. Forehand return. This is 15-30, remember. Backhand now into the forehand of Muchová. It's a winner for her down the line. 2 match points for Karolína Muchová. 15-40 here on the Ružić serve. Kovacevic goes up a double break. 5-1 he leads. He's going to serve for the second set. Meanwhile, 15-40. Ružić here serving at 3-5. 2 match points for Karolína Muchová for a space in the round of 16. It's a decent return from her. Now she's on the forehand, Muchová, into the forehand of Ružić. That forehand from Ružić is going to go wide. Karolína Muchová books her spot in the round of 16 in the desert. She beats Ružić 6-love, 6-3. She will play either Maria Sakkari or Iga Swiatek in the next round. She's bringing up all smiles on the Czech's face as she acknowledges the crowd. A little over an hour, that win for her. So nice amount of energy for Muchová to save there, as she will come up against possibly Iga Swiatek in the next round. Of course, that is somebody who she lost to in the French Open final. Ružić was probably worried a little bit about getting double bageled at one point because she was struggling even in the early stages of the second set. But then from 3-all, I think the class gap told in the end. And Muchová takes the plaudits. Just deserved. Having a look at the stats between Muchová and Ružić. Muchová hit 2 aces and 0 double faults. Both got a healthy first serve percentage in, by the way. Muchová got 73% of her first serve in, and Ružić, even more impressive, 75%. But Ružić winning just 40% of her first serves, whereas Muchová won 85% on first serve. That's a huge differential. And Ružić wasn't able to garner a single break point on the Muchová serve. Meanwhile, Muchová, by the way, squandered 8 break points, but she did take 5, crucially, to end up winning this match. As I say, in a little over an hour, 6-love, 6-3. And yeah, Muchová awaits the winner of Sakkari and Swiatek in the next round. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.